Welcome back to Dopamine Gaming. I'm Distressed.
And I'm Wagon. Today we will review Kuroinu Part 1.
Okay, so first a quick summary of the hentai. So the story is, for several hundred years, a battle between the humans and dark elves have been fought. Eventually, some of the humans formed an alliance with a bunch of orcs and becoming independent and founding their own nation. In a nation of the orcs and the humans, in this nation, women are lesser than men are required to serve all of their needs. All of the ogres look completely the same, except for some shading differences, which disappoints me a little bit, but I mean, it's fine.
I feel the same way. It is a bit disappointing that they all look the same. Like, I know they're ogres and all that. We don't know their biological shit and everything. We don't really know the world of ogres, but a little bit more variety in maybe dick size or at least just structure of their body would have been a nice surprise.
The story was pretty intriguing, but nothing that I haven't really heard of before.
I mean, it is still the first episode. We are building some characters and everything, but a little bit more of a world building and story building would have been nice, but I get it, it's a hentai. You gotta get to the fucking real quick.
There was a few moments where we saw outside of the cave where the fucking was going on. And it was nice, but there wasn't that much to go off of.
They were just still images, so it's really just a sneak peek. I'm hoping that in the later episodes we see like a all-out war against like some of the women that are out in the world with different monsters and just, you know, more than just still images that pan from left to right, like a fucking side-scroller.
The voice acting was good, nothing too special, but it did the job.
Especially from that one character, Chloe, I have to say her voice acting in the scenes where she's getting absolutely destroyed are really well made. I really did not expect such decent voice acting, but I can't say the same for Discordia or Aurelia. She felt a bit more lacking compared to Chloe.
Animation was good, above the average of what I've seen of hentai.
I believe it's the My Hero Academia of hentai level of animation.
Although the texture of the comedy was not the best. How was she not dead from the giant ogre cock? That literally stretched her apart. She should be in two pieces by now.
Yeah,
I do not see how that is realistic at all. It really just turned me off from the whole thing, really.
It really hurt the immersion into the world and everything. Yeah, like I said, like some ogres with, like if those dicks would have been a bit small, then it wouldn't have been that horrible. For example, that one scene where she has to suck the dick, like her jaw, it gets all the way opened up and everything, and her lips must have been completely ripped apart.
There was a scene where they were zooming in on the ogres around them masturbating. They were just kind of not needed, unnecessary. I don't want to see giant ogre balls while I'm trying to touch myself.
I believe that scene was used to stretch it out a little bit more, or maybe it's for one viewers that actually get turned on by watching other people beat their meat.
The characters look really good. The men were kind of ugly, but that's to be expected from hentai.
I agree, but I have to say that since this is a war we're talking about, I at least expected that the women wore at least armor that isn't, you know, just one sheet of fabric in front of them. Like, I know this is hentai and everything, but this is still a war we're talking about. They're probably getting stabbed and everything, not raped the entire time. So you have to wear some proper armor.
So when the ogres were coming in the poor girl, there was just a lot, just way too much. I understand that they're ogres and everything, but it was just like they made entire swimming pools of that shit. I don't understand how she did not drown.
Let's not forget that also, not only the ogres, but also the humans came quite a lot. I know it was a big group of people, but still, such a huge amount of cum is not really that realistic and kind of set up the immersion and turned it more from a hentai to beat your meat to a animation you can laugh at.
The music was pretty good, which is some nice violin and piano combo there. Nothing too much.
Though I do have to wonder why they really set the mood with that music. I don't quite know what type of music they used for the scene when Discordia or Regia is getting fucked, but it set off a weird vibe towards me, but this could just be my opinion and shit audio quality.
Now, the princess, when she was trying to defend herself, she was weak as hell. She did not do much to prevent what happened. And I'm honestly disappointed in her.
I agree. For a queen of the Dark Elves, you at least expect her to put up a fight. She killed, she killed the orcs, the ogres with some thunder spell, but then immediately fell on her knees, and then instead of doing one last attack, which you would expect from a person about to fucking die, but no, she puts on the most weakest anti-pregnancy spell on her that gets broken almost immediately.
She might have just put styrofoam in front of her. You would have done the same thing. Now, when the queen was getting fucked by all the humans, they sped up the animation a lot before they came, and it was just really weird and off-putting. Like, she moved at supersonic speed. That threw me off completely.
Yeah, for a second when all of a sudden they started speeding up, it felt like I accidentally pressed on double speed or something. It was very weird, to say the least.
So, when the humans came in the queen, she basically just became a cum cannon and everything just shot out, which I don't understand how the cum could come out at that speed. It was just unrealistic, and I did not appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree, because how many people were there? Like 10, 8, whatever? There were a lot of people, and they like took turns coming into her, which is, first of all, not really healthy, because you could get a disease out of that, but also there wasn't really any visible cues that they're like coming, because they just like the emperor came into her, and then they all started taking turns, and then all of a sudden, when they were done, just a huge cum explosion came out, that gave no visual cues that she was getting filled up or anything. It was really surprising, and not really in a pleasant way, because it felt really weird watching it, because the sound effects also made it seem like it was just a straight up waterfall next to you. It set off a really weird tone to it.
Now, at the end, where the two girls were becoming a slave to this bolt guy, the ogres were suddenly back to life. That I don't understand, and I also don't understand why would they suddenly just be slaves to this guy that raped them.
I'm guessing this has something to do with like a submission or a corruption or whatever that fetish is called. Now, I certainly get where they're coming from, if you know what I mean, but it's not. It doesn't really fit to their characters, because while they're getting fucked the entire time, they still were like, no, I will not give up to you and everything, showing all that confidence. And I'm pretty sure that even after complete mind break, that they should at least put up afterwards, at least a little bit of a fight. But no, afterwards it just became super submissive and just went for it. So I gotta say, Handmaiden, I can understand that she gets broken and everything, but the queen getting so broken easily, that is really pathetic, coming from a queen.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself. You'd expect much more from a queen of the Dark Elves.
Now, I'll give this hentai a 7 out of 10, a decent 7 out of 10. Despite all the flaws that me and Distressed found, I do have to say there was a pretty decent watch. Like the animations and everything, the voice acting, they said pretty good, and it's a solid hentai. Like if you like some gang rape and everything, this is a good watch for you.
So I'm gonna be giving Kuroinu a 6 out of 10. The story was serviceable. The animation was pretty good, above average. The soundtrack was nothing too special. It's just, this type of stuff is just not for me, so it's just personal bias why I'm giving it a lower score. There are some very specific fetishes in here that's just not for me.
Whatever suits your boat.
Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
Shit.
So that was Kuroinu, and we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Don't forget to stay on dopamine, because we're dopamine gaming.
Bruh.